You're watching WWMT, West Michigan's Channel 3. This is News 3 Midday.
Hello, West Michigan. A Thursday, you'd think that everyone around here was taken off for a long weekend. That's not the case. Keith is under the weather,
That's
and
right.
Jamie has the day off, and so Peter Chan is here today.
Keith has a really bad cold, and it's not very good weather for a lot of people have colds around the area. And we have more nuisance snow on the way. I call it nuisance snow because a lot of people are beginning to think spring, so we got to get through March and even parts of April before we can really say safely we're into spring weather.
I'm just understanding, though, that this is maybe one of the best ski seasons nationwide, not just in Michigan, but perhaps in Colorado and Utah, places like that.
Especially the western states out there. You've heard in the news the past couple of months, California, those areas have really been socked, but looks like we're going to get some snow in our forecast here coming up.
And some sunshine at last coming up.
Eventually.
Maybe. Cautiously, he says. But first, look at the stories making news this midday. The only movement in a Waco, Texas religious cult compound is the release of another child. On the lakeshore, a chief detective in the Randall Cherry murder talks about the confession. And in a Kalamazoo courtroom, the first officers on the scene testify in the Michael Burton beating trial. Also, is your granny the apple of your eye? We'll find out how she can get nationwide attention. But first, here's Peter.
Well, one of Grandma's apple pie certainly sounds good at this time. On a cold, blustery day, we have winds gusting at times up near 30 miles an hour. A lot of cloud cover, and we're not going to see any sun around here, at least for the next couple of days. There is snow, a mix of some rain and sleet breaking out across the area. Nothing particularly heavy, but I think especially as we go through tonight, the potential is for some accumulation, especially in the southern parts of our viewing area. Temperatures now are just above freezing. Northern parts of the viewing area, 35 to the south at Three Rivers. Along the lakeshore, readings a couple of degrees warmer where the precipitation hasn't really started, and readings there in the mid-30s. And coming up, I'll tell you how much snow is expected here for tonight. Cindy?
All right, thanks, Peter. On topping our news this midday, another child is free after being released from the Branch Davidian compound near Waco, Texas. He is the 20th youngster to be released since the siege with federal agents began Sunday. 80 people, including more than 40 children, are estimated to be inside, and they come from all over the world. It is thought a former Galesburg man is still inside the compound, and Bruce and Lisa Gent of Melbourne, Australia, waited now for the work of their 2 children inside the compound. They are former members of the Davidian cult and know its leader, David Koresh, too well.
Well, I think he's just an ordinary person gone completely out of control.
The Gents traveled to this country on Tuesday after hearing their son was one of those inside the religious compound building. In a Grand Haven police detective testified this morning that Randall Cherry admitted that the green man inside him killed Elsie Garrison. Cherry is on trial for allegedly beating and stabbing Garrison to death last July, then setting her body on fire. Prosecutor Ron France contends that Cherry got sexual gratification out of inflicting pain on Garrison. Well, as the Michael Burton attack trial continues in Kalamazoo, witnesses testified about the gory scene that happened the day after the attack. Burton, a 37-year-old Kalamazoo man, is accused of the vicious beating, the stabbing, and raping of a 36-year-old Kalamazoo woman. The first police officer to arrive on the scene described in graphic details the puddles of blood he discovered in the house. Miraculously, the victim survived. Burton is being charged with assault with intent to commit murder. In the double murder jury trial of Surrigan Mills and Terry Triggs today in Grand Rapids, officers are testifying about what each said happened August 20th at the Kentwood Little Caesars Pizza.
7 feet from the woman, the shot was fired. Mr. Doherty fell into the woman. The woman began screaming, and she fell to the floor with Mr. Doherty. She continued to scream during the 4 or 5 seconds. Then Mr. Triggs said he heard a second shot. He indicated that he did not see the second shot happen, but he knew what had happened.
Well, Mills may take the stand to give his side of the story this afternoon. The 2 men are accused in the execution-style murders of pizza shop workers Michael Doherty and Suzanne Remmer. Kalamazoo detectives are still looking for suspects in an overnight shooting that sent 2 men to the hospital. The victims, 22-year-old Kalen Blackman and 22-year-old Marcus Dodson, were shot while on the city's north side. Police say the shots were fired by men driving in a vehicle. One of the suspects is said to be known by one of the witnesses. Meanwhile, in Cass County, sheriff's deputies say the search is on for a gunman who held up a convenience store overnight. The gunman allegedly demanded money from the store clerk at the Service Mart 2 in Union. sheriff's deputies say the suspect then drove off in the clerk's car, using that as a getaway vehicle. Well, authorities found the car, but the gunman got away. No one was hurt. Taking a spin around the radio dial this midday, some of the stories making headlines around West Michigan. WMSH reports an armed robbery at a convenience store in Union we just told you about in Cass County. The search continues for that gunman. Also from WMSH, the U.S. Attorney's Office this morning presented the Sturgis Police Department with a check for $29,000. That for their work in uncovering one of the largest money laundering operations in the state. Last year, Sturgis police arrested a Sturgis resident, later convicted for concealing and investing more than $8 million in drug trafficking proceeds. And from WGHN, as part of an ongoing dispute, the Ottawa County Commissioners are negotiating with the Humane Society and their requests for increased funding, while they explore the option of creating their own agency that they say could operate on less money. The long-awaited groundbreaking for a major part of the Arcadia Commons project in the Kalamazoo area is underway this midday. After years of jumping over several hurdles, the first shovelful of dirt is being moved for a new Kalamazoo Valley Community College campus. News 3's Tina Yen is live now from the corner of Rose and Water Streets in downtown Kalamazoo. What's happening, Tina?
Well, Cindy, as you can see behind me, there's a lot of bustling activity, including a giant tractor that's moving earth and a giant backhoe that's picking up the last debris before construction actually begins. Actually, the ground has only been broken for the Kalamazoo Valley Community College, which is only part of a $90 million total Arcadia Creek Commons project. Now, the KVCC building is only supposed to be about $7 million. Will be 3 stories tall, 55,000 square feet. Will house classrooms, labs, offices, library, and a student lounge. Now, in the years to come, it's supposed to be connected by skywalk to an area that Art Charlton, our photographer, has panned over to. The new museum doesn't have a name yet. It's just called the New Museum. It's a $20 million project, of which only $15 million have been raised. Another huge public fundraising campaign is supposed to be announced in a couple of months, and we'll let you know when that happens. But the new museum is supposed to be connected not only literally to the KVCC downtown campus, it's supposed to be connected administratively. Still, only those 2 projects are only part of the project, which across the street will also hold 2 other buildings, including a bank, a cancer center, as well as other office space. But as for this big hole that you see here, in 16 months, they say this is going to be the new KVCC campus. Cindy?
Sounds like quite a big project. How will this affect motorists trying to get in and out of the area?
Well, the Granger construction company that's managing the construction project here says by the summertime you can expect this to be like an ant's nest. Traffic will be closed off at the intersection of Rose and Water just beyond this area right here, not only because of this project, but also because of street improvements. Detours will be made for the traffic, but no details have been announced yet. Cindy?
All right. An ant's nest, say? Well, thanks, Tina. Well, seniors who live in Detroit are paying more than most for their trips to the doctor. A new study shows that Michigan's Medicaid costs are the 3rd highest in the country. The president of the state's medical society says it could be linked to the relatively poor health of Michigan's elderly. Our state leads the nation in 9 chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, cancers of the lung, breast, colon, and strokes. Florida and Louisiana have higher Medicaid costs than Michigan. The average Medicare payment to doctors in Detroit was $1,500. In Miami, $1,900.
Well, we began the month with sunshine, mild temperatures, and now we have another taste of winter on the way, and I'll tell you about that coming up in just a bit.
Oh, joy, right? We'll also show you the winners of the Wheel of Fortune contestant search from West Michigan. Plus, an upcoming TV movie that puts the blame of a murder on a victim of amnesia.
To me, there's palm trees around here. I mean, this isn't cold. This is springtime in Alaska, really. Oh, it's 20 below today. Man, it's cold out. I'm going cold. You haven't seen anything. Try 45 or 50.
You see, not everyone thinks it's cold just in the Midwest. Don't go away.
News 3 Midday with Cindy Dole, Jamie Bowl, and meteorologist Keith Thompson's weather.
Find a new look for your home at the 46th Annual Kalamazoo Home Expo, March 9th through the 13th. Over 100 exhibitors indoors at the Kalamazoo County Fairground.
Whether you fish for walleye, lake trout, or northern, you'll find Tracker boats are unmatched for rugged performance and superior quality. Packed with the best equipment and features, these complete boat, motor, and trailer packages are built with the guts to last a lifetime of serious fishing. And combined with low prices, it's no wonder that Tracker is the #1 selling aluminum fishing boat in the world. 15 models let you choose the perfect rig for you.
Tracker boats are available at DNR Sports Center, West Main Street, Kalamazoo.
To test for perfect pasta, some people use hit-or-miss methods. But this isn't the way to make sure your pasta is just right. This is, because when you choose San Giorgio, you can depend on the pasta to turn out perfect. Great. Every time. For over 75 years, San Giorgio's been pleasing families meal after meal. In test after test, the medal for perfect pasta goes to San Giorgio.
Add a piece of chicken, add a piece of fish, and long guns you can add a piece to any meal you wish. We can do that. Yeah, we can do that.
Buy any Long John's meal and add a piece. Fish for 75 cents, chicken for 65, or shrimp for 35.
Fish, shrimp, and chicken, crispy and delish. Mix them up and match them at any meal you wish. Yeah, we can do that. Long John Silver's Go Fish.
Go for fish, 3 delicious shrimp plus fries, all just $1.99.
I was injured in an accident. I had questions and needed answers. I wanted someone who only handled injury cases. I called Sam. I talked with him personally. He got the facts, answered my questions, kept me advised, and got me results. When anyone asks me about a personal injury attorney, I tell them to call Sam first. His experience paid for me. I'm glad I called 1-800-CALL-SAM.
This portion of News 3 is sponsored by Jewel.
Well, about this time of year, we need to find a reason to like the falling temperatures, right? Well, a South Dakota couple enjoys these snowy days because, after all, it is good training for their sled dogs. Doug Primesberger does not race the dogs, he just trains them. And he says hitching them up is the roughest part in the process. The ride is smooth. Training sled dogs isn't as hard as you think, though.
Let's go. Come on. It takes a lot of patience. It's not all that physically hard. It's mentally hard because you've got to get the dogs to understand you, and you have to understand them. The key to training them is getting them interested in pulling, and then the next key to training them is getting them interested in working as a team.
Well, Primesberger has trained sled dogs for 7 years. Those faces are so cute. Wouldn't you love to have some sled dogs just pulling it at work?
I have a border collie, and he keeps me plenty occupied. But I have a friend up in Alaska who's actually done it. He even spent a winter in Switzerland training these dogs.
That's adventurous.
But you know, around here, we've had a tough time having enough snow around to have dog sled races, at least in the past several years. They've had to cancel some of them that have been scheduled in West Michigan. But we do have some more snow on the way. Overnight, though, not terribly cold. Readings stopped in the lower 30s as winds held up quite strong out of the northeast, gusting at times up near 30 miles an hour. And it looks like those strong winds will continue throughout the day and probably linger into tonight as well. Right now, temperatures have not moved a whole lot from what our lows were this morning. Readings inland areas are generally a couple degrees above freezing, 35 now down toward Three Rivers. At the lakeshore, readings a couple of degrees warmer because there is some precipitation that has developed across the area. Not quite reaching the lakeshore yet, but readings there in the mid-30s. Humidity 75%, barometer falling, winds strong out of the northeast, again gusting at times at 30, even 38 miles an hour in the Grand Rapids area, and wind chills down around 0 to 10 above. Well, a quick check of News 3 Storm Surge radar will show this is an area of light snow mixed at times with some rain and sleet. The precipitation is not particularly heavy, but it pretty much extends from around the Detroit, Flint, Lansing areas westward on into now moving into the South Haven and Benton Harbor, St. Joseph areas. This precipitation is actually going back toward the west in response to the circulation of low pressure in the upper atmosphere. And we'll take a look at that in a second. As far as precipitation across the rest of the country, here is a large area of rain extending into the mid-Atlantic region. That's heading mainly up toward the north along the east coast, but some of this moisture is being pulled back toward the west, and that's what's going to give us our chance of some light snow in here for today and into tonight. Now here is the low-pressure center. There are actually two low-pressure centers, one in the eastern Ohio Valley. This system is weakening. There's an upper-level low that's kind of helping our situation to create some precipitation, but a new low is trying to form down the mid-Atlantic region as that tracks on off toward the north. It'll get some pretty good precipitation through portions of the northeast U.S. But I still think the potential exists for some pretty good snowfall right along the Indiana-Ohio border. A few spots may see 3-4 inches of snow overnight and into tomorrow morning. If you are going south toward Fort Wayne or Toledo, especially tonight and tomorrow, they could see maybe as much as 5, even isolated 6 inches amount of snow. So again, driving down that way will be a bit tougher here as the day progresses. Our forecast for tonight, more winter weather. For today, rather cloudy, light snow. It could be mixed with a little bit of rain or sleet, and temperatures should stay above freezing, so no major problems are anticipated, at least during the daylight hours on the road. But for tonight, we can expect light snow continuing, an inch or less on up toward Grand Rapids, maybe an inch or two here in Kalamazoo, and a few inches are possible from Sturgis on over toward Coldwater. Low temperatures upper 20s to lower 30s. And for the lakeshore today, cloudy, some light snow, sleet, and rain developing. Nothing particularly heavy. Readings fairly steady in the middle 30s. And for tonight, then, some light snow is possible, an inch or two accumulation, mainly from South Haven down toward Benton Harbor and St. Joseph, and low temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s. Friday, still a chance of some flurries in the morning. Saturday, maybe a peek at the sun, and then maybe another chance of some light snow in here by Sunday.
You have fond memories of your grandmother?
Well, yeah. She used to make me peach pies, apple pies, those sorts of things.
I think everyone would say that their grandmother is the best, but imagine seeing your granny on a poster promoting green apples. Yes, folks, the Granny Smith Apple Company is searching the nation for the perfect granny. The program coordinator says they're looking for someone who is outgoing, full of life, and active in the community. They're also looking for the movers and shakers, as well as the cookie bakers. To nominate your grandmother, send info to Granny Smith, P.O. Box 18 in Washington, the zip code 98807. Nominations must be received by April 12th. If you missed this on your screen, you can call us here in our newsroom. Well, still ahead, you'll recognize her from her Hill Street Blues days. Actress Veronica Hamill talks with us about a murder story with a twist.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I can't remember anything before 2 weeks ago.
So what are you telling me, that you have amnesia? Is that what you're saying? Oh, come on, please don't pull that scam on me. You're way up your league.
Go to hell.
What time is it? Time for Jewel's variety of values. Start with the makings for dinner. Grade A whole frying chicken, just 49 cents a pound. Recapture the taste of summer with Florida strawberries, only 79 cents a pint. Stock up on Star-Kissed Chunk Light Tuna, just 39 cents a can. And save on Cottonelle bath tissue, only 79 cents a 4-pack. For a variety of values.
Do grown-ups actually work? I mean, all they do is tell us what to do. Timothy Wheeler.
Timothy Wheeler class starts at 8 o'clock sharp, not 8:01, 8 o'clock.
Timmy, button your shirt, tie your shoes, comb your hair, stand up straight, wash your face.
Luckily, there's dinner time and no rules. That's why there's Sloppy Joes by Manwich. You could eat them any which way you want. All which makes their rules easier to take.
Not yet. Not yet.
Sloppy Joes by Manwich. No rules.
Aveda. Our products are manufactured in plants all over the world.
Julio, we use and recommend Aveda hair care, skincare, and natural color cosmetics.
If the price reductions at Highland haven't gotten your attention, here's something that should. Sony Week, featuring Sony reps in all our stores demonstrating the newest products from a true industry leader. Check out the latest in interactive video, mini disc, 8mm camcorders, and more. And take advantage of this great opportunity to buy Sony products at the lowest possible price. More proof that whatever it takes to win your business, Highland is doing it.
Imagine forgetting everything about who you are, where you've been. Only fragments of information haunt you. It is the story of a woman in an upcoming CBS movie starring Veronica Hamill, and I talked with her recently via satellite. Well, thanks for joining us, Veronica. I always associate you with Hill Street Blues. You must be so proud of having that association being a real classic in television.
Yes, it's always nice to be fortunate enough to be one of the people chosen to be in something that's special and that you're proud of.
The next project is this movie coming up on CBS this Sunday, The Disappearance of Nora, and you play a woman who has amnesia. Tell us about the plot.
Well, I don't want to give away too much. This is, slowly her life starts coming back to her. She wakes up in the desert with no identity, and slowly through flashbacks that are rather frightening and traumatizing to this woman, revealing bits and pieces of what appear to be a murder.
Hey, what's your name? You do have a name, don't you?
I can't remember.
What do you remember?
Nothing. There are a lot of twists and turns in this, and how horrifying it is. You know, you think, gee, Annie M., I want to get home, I want to get home, but what is home like? You know, will I find this person that may be an absolute nightmare? And slowly she starts finding out about her life and what has happened.
Nora, listen to me. Whatever doesn't happen, it's not your fault. Put it down.
Sounds like a frightening role to play.
Very much so, very much so. And in freezing degrees. You know, when you see me moving around the desert there, and I want you to know that I probably have goosebumps as big as my fist.
Well, we in West Michigan can relate to that.
Yes, you can.
So what's new on the agenda? Do you have some other projects, or are we going to see you any more TV series in the future?
Well, hopefully, I would like to do, be it a half hour, an hour, and I'm sort of meeting with people, and hopefully that will come about. You brought up Hill Street. You know, when you've done something that's been written so well, which it all starts with the writing, that's your foundation. That's what really keeps it moving and gets you in your car. And I'd like to get in my car, not just to get to a place that I can then get to the bank, that I'll be happy to go to work, and I think that makes a huge difference.
Well, you can see The Disappearance of Nora right here on Channel 3 this Sunday, 9 o'clock. It looks great. Well, still ahead, we'll have an update on the standoff between the religious cult leader and federal agents in Waco, Texas. But first, the latest on the Wheel of Fortune contestant search winners from West Michigan.
Add a piece of chicken, add a piece of fish. As long as you can add a piece to any meal you wish, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that.
Buy any Long John's meal and add a piece. Fish for 75 cents, chicken for 65, or shrimp for 35.
Fish, shrimp, and chicken, crispy and delish. Mix them up and match them and any meal you wish. Yeah, we can do that. Long John Silver's. Go fish.
Go for fish, free delicious shrimp plus fries, all just $1.99.
Introducing new Ultra Oxidol. Don't reach for the bleach, put it back on the shelf. A new detergent whitens all by itself. Power bleach whitening in just one box. It works so hard they call it the Ox.
Introducing new Ultra Oxidol. It had this many blue bleaching crystals, now it's got twice as many. So it whitens even better, and the Ox loves colors.
Don't reach for the bleach, grab a box of the Ox.
The new detergent that whitens without separate bleach.
Take the time to taste the Welch's. Take the time to roll it round. Savor all that Concord flavor. Let it trickle slowly down.
Welch's Grape Juice. We've spent 100 years getting ready for this moment. So don't rush it. It deserves to be savored.
Take the time to taste the Welch's.
Come into the Fine Home Furnishing store for smart people who value value. And now during winter sale, discover great Klingman savings, like this terrific sofa, just $7.99, or this contemporary design at just $6.99. A solid cherry 4-piece bedroom group on sale at $18.99, and great lamps starting at only $59. See for yourself why Klingman's is the home of America's best value in fine home furnishings during the great winter sale at Klingman's of Grand Rapids, Eastbrook Mall.
In business news now this midday, General Motors is the target of another lawsuit over the design of its side saddle gas tanks on thousands of pickup trucks. The same lawyer from Atlanta who won the $100 million award against GM last month is now seeking damages for all pickup truck owners in Georgia. Meantime, Ford is making a big splash at the International Motor Show in Geneva with the unveiling of a so-called world car called the Mondeo. It is a car designed to be sold in both Europe and North America. Other headlines this midday. Good news from most sectors of the American industry. There is a backlog of factory orders for many companies, perhaps a sign that many will hire new workers soon. But the decline in demand for new aircraft sent overall factory orders down 1.3% in January. In Washington, the House is expected to take a final vote today to extend unemployment benefits another 26 weeks at a cost of $5.7 billion. The Senate attached a freeze on congressional salaries to the bill yesterday. We told you about that standoff continuing in Waco, Texas, the 5th day now. In the tragedy, the death, and the fear that surrounds a Texas religious compound comes a story that is bringing a little warmth to those who worry. Along with the children who have been released from the compound were 12 3-week-old German Shepherd pups released this morning. The animals did not spend much time as orphans. People on the scene adopted all 9 of the young pups immediately.
6 weeks.
Sweet faces.
Cute little things.
One last look at weather.
Well, our weather is not going to be improving around here, especially as we go into tonight. Today, though, going out cloudy, windy, some light snow mixed at times with a little sleet or rain. Temperatures fairly steady in the middle 30s, and it's that northeast wind that'll make it feel cold. I think tonight, though, as temperatures get down around or a little bit below freezing, there could be a few slick spots develop on the road, maybe an inch or so of snow up toward Grand Rapids, a couple inches possible here in Kalamazoo. Better chance of accumulation right along the Indiana border again. Sturgis on over toward Coldwater could see 3, maybe 4 inches of snow by tomorrow morning.
Still overall kind of on the mild side.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
not
a little bit of what I call nuisance snow to put up with just about another month from now.
Not a Sakatuyu snowstorm. No. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow at the same time.
Thanks for watching.